Welcome back, everybody, to a video on Evolution Cup. Now, I am going to preface this by saying this team will get you hated in GBL because Chansey is a very polarizing Pokemon. It's basically like the Bastiodon of Evolution Cup. But being the Bastiodon enthusiast that I am, I found a team that works very, very well with Chansey in this cup. Now, just to give an update on my progress, whenever the Evolution Cup started, I believe I was around 3058, 3054, somewhere in the mid 3000s. I started out using a Celio Golbat team, which was a lot of fun, but I was getting mixed results with it. And then a few nights ago, just decided, okay, I have enough XL candies. I've been saving up to build a Chansey for years. I don't have a 100%, but I have a 98% that I've had best buddied for a while. Let me build this. It's eligible for this cup. It is a complete tank. I ran some sims on it, and basically, this is the best team I could come up with in terms of coverage. And as long as you keep Chansey away from Vigoroth, and to an extent Zweilous, if you're not running Dazzling Gleam, then Chansey generally puts up a pretty good fight in most matchups. Even the ones that are like against Machoke, for instance. Machoke's a fighting Pokemon. Fighting should destroy Chansey, but because you have Zen Headbutt and Psychic, you're able to threaten that as well, so it's not as one-sided as you might think. I used this team to climb to a season high of 3264. I've bounced a little bit back and forth between then, mostly because I've been losing points for 3-2 sets because I've been staying in queue for too long and down pairing a lot. But I will say, out of maybe 15 to 20 sets I've played in Evolution Cup with this team specifically, I've only gone negative one time. It was a 2-3 set, and I'm going to blame lag for it. It definitely could have been a 3-2 set, but I got in a scenario where I did not sneak a move through when I brought a Pokemon in, and if I did, I would have won. But that being said, this has gotten me quite a few 4-1s, a couple of 5-0s, and a lot of 3-2s. So definitely give this a try if you have the resources to build a Chansey and you don't mind being that guy that runs Chansey. So I'll go show some battles. I had 2 sets, full sets recorded. I had 10 battles, but then one of them got corrupted whenever I was putting the video together. So I have 9 battles to show you guys. And I will show a couple losses in there. That way people can see the teams that are capable of beating this team in case you want a game plan to build that. Because I will say, I don't know if I'm the one that discovered this team, but I have seen quite a few people using this team as well. I don't know if anyone put out a video on it. I didn't see one. But it's possible a few other people have gone through team building and also came to the same conclusion that this is a very, very good team. Shadow Dragonair has a lot of really good 2-shield matchups. Vigoroth is a staple of the cup. And then Chansey is just, you don't need shields for Chansey. Chansey just beasts through things. It completely walls Haunter. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, I'll go show you some battles. You'll see what I mean, and I'll explain my thought process throughout to explain why I do certain things and how I play certain matchups. So here we go. First battle, here we go. We have a Dragonair Mirror. In this, I tend to just stay in. I have very good IVs on my Dragonair, meaning I have low attack, so I don't go for throwing a charge move because I would probably lose CMP, so I go for sneaking a Dragon Breath through. And then I go to bank a move. Now, I usually swap out. They bring a Matang in, which is actually really bad in this case for me to swap it out, because if I just stayed in with Dragonair and let Matang kill me, I get Vigoroth on it, which is a decent matchup. And Matang, unfortunately, is very, very bad for Chansey. It double resists the Psychic. It resists Hyper Beam. If you're running Dazzling Gleam, it resists that as well. All the while dealing neutral damage to Chansey. So we're in the secondary matchup. They have a Dusclops in the back. I did bait to get their first shield, because they usually shield the first one because it's very rarely a bait. So now I bring Chansey on this. Now they bring Matang back in. I'm in kind of a tricky situation because I have barely any health. I do have a move banked on Dragonair. I'm going to stay in this for a bit because Chansey could absorb a lot of damage, and I'm going to try to go for a Hyper Beam. I'm not sure how much this does to Matang. I don't see very many Matangs. It's not too relevant, although it is really great as a Chansey wall, I suppose. So we're going to throw the Hyper Beam here. Despite it being resisted, it still did an okay amount. We're going to throw the Aqua Tail here. Definitely going to get the shield. And we'll see if we get to another one. We do barely get to another one because the Metal Claws from Matang do not do very much damage at all. And they thought they could just farm me down. So we got them very, very low landing that Aqua Tail. I decided to use the shield here because I feel like a Psyshock from Matang, a stab Psyshock will probably do more damage than non-stab Ice Punch from Shadow Dusclops. They end up swapping in Dusclops here, which is a good play. They don't want me to farm their Matang all the way down and get energy for this. They throw out Ice Punch, and by the way, this is a faint attack Dusclops, so they generate energy a little slower, but they do a little bit more fast move damage than Hex would. We get to the Psychic, and now we're on a fast move race here. and we take down the Matang. So even though they had a very hard wall to Chansey, we ended up still winning that one. We got another battle coming up right here. Dragonair into Vigoroth. What I like to do here is just stay in. You definitely want to keep the Chansey away from Vigoroth. I 2-shield this matchup. The beauty of Shadow Dragonair is you could 2-shield farm down. Now this is tricky because they preserve their Vigoroth and they bring in a Dragonair. They're going to shield here, but I decide to bring in Chansey here. And my logic is that you want to find a matchup for Chansey where it's not awful. Now, Shadow Dragonair does beat Chansey if it's at full health, but because we did a lot of Dragon Breath damage, we're able to chip it to a range where Chansey can now completely farm down and does not need to shield anything. So we're going to attempt to farm this down as much as possible. Their switch timer is going to be up before us, so they might end up bringing in Vigoroth. They throw a move right here. And they bring in a Zweilous. So Vigoroth Double Dragon, very difficult team. They shield the Hyper Beam, but we do have our own Vigoroth that we preserved here, which is why I brought in Chansey against the Dragonair, because typically Vigoroth is more flexible to use in the back. So if you don't get Chansey in a matchup that's positive, then there's a good chance it could be walled. This Dragonair's here. They have a move. We're going to have to tank this because we have no choice. We're going to throw our energy into this Vigoroth, this Body Slam here. I get countered down there. This is... Okay. My counter did not go through there. And you'll end up seeing that this ended up making the difference. If my counter went through there, which it should have, I got one turn of lag when I brought that in. If my counter went through, this Vigoroth definitely has less than one counter worth of health left. So we did lose this battle, but this was very winnable. And if the game worked properly, we would have won that battle. Despite how bad that matchup is for us. Dragonair to Chansey. I actually like Chansey leads because you could stay up and build up a ton of energy. Like, Chansey in a not good matchup is basically like a battery. So I bring in my own Vigoroth here. Now that switch advantage doesn't really matter because Chansey and Dragonair, like if we get Chansey onto that Chansey that's already injured, then it's fine. They bring in I think this is a Razor Leaf Dartrix. They no-shielded twice, so we're just going to shield this and get switch advantage, because I'd rather our Chansey get aligned with theirs. So what do they have here? Alright, they bring in their Chansey again, which is fine. We have a ton of energy on Dragonair, so even though we have a shield deficit, we have almost a full health Dragonair and more than 2 moves worth. So they bring in a Charge Bug. This is fantastic for Dragonair. We're just going to Body Slam this. This is a really good matchup for Dragonair. But yeah, we're going to Body Slam again. They're probably going to shield again. And we're going to throw another Body Slam. Now here I'm in a little bit of a conundrum because they could hit us with a Crunch. I shielded up anyway, but they do bait us. They can't get to double Crunch, which is kind of a shame. But we do survive a Crunch because it's non-stab. Now here's the problem. We throw this Aqua Tail into Chansey, which should have thrown Body Slam, but I panicked. Here's the thing. They have 2 Pokemon alive still. They switched out a Charger Bug, but they top lefted there for some reason. Now, just to pause this for a sec and talk about that. That battle had been going on for a while, and even that Chansey was not in Hyper Beam range yet. I'm pretty sure if they just stayed in, they would have won by timeout. Because even though, if they have 2 low health Pokemon, if you only have 1 Pokemon left, it doesn't matter how much health you have left on it. The person with multiple Pokemon remaining will win in a timeout scenario. So I think my opponent made a mistake by top lefting there. Obviously, if the battle had an unlimited amount of time, there's no way they would have been able to kill my Chansey, and their Charger Bug had like 1 or 2 HP left. It was super low. So I would definitely win that if the battle played out, but I think there was a decent chance that they could have won via timeout there. I'm not sure what the match time is on that. I might have to go back and check that. Either way, we'll take it. We'll take the timeout win. That was my mistake for not preserving the Dragonair, not anticipating the switch. We got another battle right here. Dragonair into Vigoroth. If they stay in here, you just play out the 2 shield. You definitely want to throw to grab a shield from them. They switch into a Celio. We're just going to bring in our Vigoroth right away. There's not much else we could do here. Chansey does not beat Celio. If you do enough chip damage, then it's fine. But yeah, we'll just take out the Celio. No point in getting too fancy with it. We do survive a Body Slam from here, so I will just farm this Celio down. We have some energy coming out of here. I'm actually going to go for Bulldoze here because we're going to die to 1 more counter, so we can't get to 2 Body Slams. And Bulldoze, even though it's worse DP, does do more damage than Body Slam. So if you can only get to 1 move, Bulldoze is the move to throw if they're both neutral. We're going to throw a Body Slam here. They shield. We're going to try to farm this all the way down. We're going to obviously shield here. And they let us farm them all the way down. They have a Lairon in the back, which is a little surprising that they didn't swap out earlier. Because Lairon resists the Dragon Breaths. And they have shields down. We just got 2 Octales. We didn't even need to show Chansey in that matchup, but Lairon is a Pokemon that Chansey does extremely poorly against. So luckily we didn't have to get Chansey in line with that. That was a 4-1 set. The first battle in the set, the recording didn't record, but we won 3 out of the remaining 4 battles. So we were at 32-24, I believe. Went up to 32-53 with that 4-1 set. Okay, we do have some more battles here. Playing against Wadaj. 32-91. Excellent battler. They have a Haunter in the lead. They switch it to a Vigoroth. Here's the thing. You could bring in your own Vigoroth into this, but I'm just going to 2-shield and win the 2-shield here because Chansey has a dominating matchup versus Haunter. So if we win switch here, we get Chansey aligned with Haunter later, and it's perfect. Even if Haunter hypothetically could learn Focus Blast, which it can't, that's a Gengar move. Even that, like a non-stab Focus Blast, would still only do like 40% to Chansey. It's ridiculous. They have a Celio in the back. This game's already pretty much over because we're gonna get Vigoroth aligned to this. We get 2 Body Slams off on the Celio, which is fantastic. They no shield both of them. We bring in our Vigoroth. They insta-throw a move. Alignment's very important. So yeah, Bravery and Haunter, they know that the battle's over. Even if they're running Sludge Bomb, which is basically the best move they could use to hit Chansey with, it does not do very much damage. Playing against Wanilo, they have a regular Dragonair, non-Shadow, so we'll see how this goes. Wanilo, I believe, is a streamer as well. We're going to shield here. Okay, we win lead. Sometimes so I have to swap out and preserve that there. They have their own Vigoroth here. I think I misplay this game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, shield their Body Slam, because I want to make sure I get this other Body Slam off. I think they're going to be able to farm me down, which is unfortunate. Okay. This is okay. I'm not sure if I can survive a counter, so I think I come in with Chansey here. And I think I should have tried to just survive a counter and just farm this Vigoroth down, because I can't really afford to take extra damage on Chansey, because this is not an ideal situation for Chansey. Celio with a shield is actually pretty decent against Chansey. So they go for Aurora Beam. So something for the Celio users out there, even though Aurora Beam gets stab, it's such a bad move that a non-stab Body Slam is actually better DBE. So it's actually better just go straight Body Slam, as long as you're able to time your moves properly. It does do more damage. This is kind of a tricky situation. We need to get to a Psychic. We have a move stored on Dragonair, but we need to get to a Psychic before they get to one more Aurora Beam. And unfortunately, they get to Aurora Beam right when we get to Psychic, so we end up losing this game. Because we got the Psychic, that would either KO or get the last shield, and we have a move ready. So, unfortunately, we lost that one. It's a very close game, though. We got a battle here. Dragonair to Hakamo. Hakamo is actually a really rough lead. Usually I try to catch a Dragon Claw. They went 1 over, so they're going to throw a Brick Break. Yeah. Then they bring in their own Vigoroth. This is kind of rough because I'm pretty sure they could just farm us all the way down. Let's see. Yes. Oh, yeah, this is rough. What do I go into? Do I go into Chansey here? No, I don't. I decide, okay, yeah, that's right. I decide I'm going to farm this all the way down. Oh, man, I don't know if it's worth expending 2 shields here. This is kind of iffy. I probably should have brought in Chansey. We're going to throw the Body Slam to the Hakamo, anticipating they'll shield it. They do not. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this is a rough situation. I probably should have just top lefted right here. So, yeah, Chansey versus Celio. Celio is actually a very good Pokemon. I was using it a lot earlier, just because it could spam out moves quickly. Powder Snow damage adds up. Aurora Beam is not a good move. Which, speaking of which, there's another person who's going straight Aurora Beam. Body Slam is better, guys. Body Slam is better. Go for Body Slam. So I should just top left here. This is just a waste of time, and waste for your time as well, viewers. But my logic was, if they decide to get fancy and try to 2-shield, if I throw the Psychic, get a defense drop, and then throw the Hyper Beam, and they decide to get fancy and no shield it, then I could still win. But at this point, even if I land the Hyper Beam only does like around 40%, I believe. Like 39.5% to non-Shadow Celio. They shielded anyway. I decided top left there. I was just curious if they let me land the Hyper Beam. We are battling against Though Technical. I believe he was streaming this time, running a Charge Bug team. And this is rough because he knows my team. I played against him before. We do a bunch of damage and then catch Dragon Claw on Chansey. And at this point, we can just farm down Hakma O because the Zen Habits. And he knows. He knows I have Vigoroth in the back. Now, I played against Though Technical earlier. He's using a different team against the other day. So he knows that I rode in Vigoroth in the back. He actually had his own Vigoroth in the back there. But the problem is I farm down his Hakma O entirely in that situation. I come out with energy. I throw Hyper Beam into his Vigoroth and then bring in Dragonair. Probably preserve the Chansey. And then what's he going to do? Swap out to Charge Bug? Charge Bug is a terrible matchup against Dragonair. So there's really not much he can do there. So yeah, he ended up top left in the save time. And fun fact, I was watching his stream a little bit afterwards. He went a little bit on tilt there, and he started using this team afterward and was winning a bunch of games with it. So it is tried and true. And then we have a battle against... Oh yeah, we played at Rise to Occasion, Though Technical back-to-back. Another fantastic battler playing against Rise here. Again, we'll try to two-shield our way through Vigoroth if they'll let us, because we just absolutely need to take out Vigoroth at all costs. He shields the Body Slam and then switches into his Wireless. He's going to do a little bit of chip damage and then throw the Body Slam here. And we're going to bring in Vigoroth because Chansey can't really see this. We don't run Dazzling Gleam on ours. Let this go. It's a Body Slam. I get greedy and try to farm down. I should have known that I couldn't because I stayed in too long with Dragonair. That's okay. We have a lot of energy coming out here. Almost 2 Body Slams. They bring in their own Vigoroth again. Throw a Body Slam here. Throw another Body Slam. I don't want to take any counter damage if they decide to let this go. He does not let it go. Now I believe we bring in our Chansey, right? Yeah. He has his own Lairon in the back, which is a fantastic Pokemon. I throw after 5 because I know Lairon gets the Body Slam at 5, and I thought maybe I could CMP tie, and I do CMP tie. So this worked out conveniently. We land the Aqua Tail. If I didn't throw on CMP, he might have farmed me down. But even if he does, Chansey takes so much damage here. The best move Lairon has is Rock Slide, and even that does barely anything. So even though Lairon resists everything that Chansey throws, it's just such a good Pokemon because it just absorbs so much damage. So even though your moves are resisted, you just outlast it by so much. But anyway, that's the team, everyone. It is very annoying. You will annoy people with it. You'll play long battles, which kind of works a little bit in my favor because at my current elo, I'm waiting 10-15 minutes in queue, so I'm getting my money's worth, I guess you could say it. Although it's not an expensive team, I don't use any money in this game, but I guess I'm getting my time's worth for the effort that I am putting into waiting in queue. So I'm getting these long 4 to 5 minute battles to keep myself entertained for waiting 10-15 minutes in queue. But anyway, I know there's only like 2-3 days left. Maybe it's probably Tuesday night or Monday night when I get this video up. So yeah, you could have like 2-3 days of sets to play this team if you'd like, if you have a Chansey already built. So go for it if you like this team, if you like playing the degen style lines. I do. I think they're fun. I am kind of a meta slave, and I like using Pokemon that are dominant in certain matchups. And I guess Chansey fits the bill there. Bastiodon in Great League is one of my favorites, of course, for those of you that know me. But yeah, enjoy the team, and enjoy being hated by every single person that plays against you if you decide to use this team. So take care. And we'll see what team I come up with for whatever the next cup is. I haven't even looked into it yet. But anyway, take care, everyone. Happy climbing. Good luck with the battles.